trying. I haven't talked to the camera in a while. Hi, my name is Rachel, and today we are going to make a lilac jumper or pinafore. I'm going to be going back and forth between those two terms myself, so just use whichever one you prefer. For some reason, I get really intimidated when it comes to making things on YouTube that are not necessarily singing related, like, you know, clothes and fashion and more opinion related stuff. So today I decided, you know what, I've been on a sewing kick recently. I'm getting really into, you know, this new hobby of mine. Let's film something. So I got this really, really pretty fabric from Joann's the other day. I picked it out because it really, really reminded me of Rapunzel from Disney's Tangled, and I actually don't own that much stuff in purple, especially this lighter color, so I'm very excited about that. In terms of cottagecore, I've always been very, very drawn to more girly and traditionally like flowy styles of garments. I really always just wanted to feel like I was a fairy tale character or a character in my own novel. I have been accused in the past of kind of living with my head stuck in the clouds, so I feel like my style of fashion has been drifting towards this avenue probably since I first started getting really into fashion. I'm out of breath! Why do I always feel the need to like talk all in one breath when I'm filming? Anyway, I'm very excited to start this out with you. Basic terms of the project are that we are going to take a jumper that I already own and basically trace it out, making a few small adjustments because this pinafore does fit me a bit oddly. I want to make the bib longer and the skirt a bit wider. So we're gonna go over to the floor in the other room to start sketching out the pattern on our fabric. I'm taking my pinafore and laying the bib down on 2 layers of my fabric. I'm tracing it out, slightly altering the shape as I prefer to make the bib slightly longer and narrower. Taking my pinafore, I am folding it in half and laying it down on my fabric in order to cut out the back 2 skirt panels. The front skirt panel would of course just be the back skirt panels, but as one piece. To make the straps of my pinafore, I'm using the original strap as a guideline, measuring out 4 inches away from the strap because I want this strap to be twice as large, because remember, you're going to have to fold it in half, sew it, and then turn it inside out again. Hey all, so it has been a few days since we have last started this project, mostly because, like I mentioned in the previous clip, I get nervous and like weirdly unmotivated when it comes to filming my projects. Like I made a shirt a few weeks ago and I was able to do that like really, really quickly, but I also wasn't filming the process. When it comes to this, I think about like, oh man, I have to set up the camera, and I have to do this. But I'm trying to get over that, okay? I'm trying to get over all that, and I'm going to add pockets to this project because, as any skirt or dress wearing person knows, pockets are a must and not adding them is criminal, in fact. As for today's outfit, I was feeling recently like I want to start playing with different pieces in my wardrobe and trying to get like a little bit out of my comfort zone. So today's look is a lot more masculine-y, I guess, with the yeah, I don't know. I don't normally dress like this, but I'm liking it. I feel cool. I think it's mostly because I have pants on that I feel so like, I mean, they're cute, they're culottes, but I don't often wear pants like this. But it's winter time, so, you know, if any time calls for it, now's the time. I'm rambling. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, project. So, to recap from what we have accomplished so far, I've got the front bib cut out, I've got the 2 shoulder straps done, I've got the waistband cut out, I've got all 3 of the skirt panels cut out. So I didn't film cutting out the front skirt panel because it's essentially just the 2 back skirt panels except as one piece, you know, you get the picture. So today we're going to cut out pockets because I haven't done that yet, and perhaps attach some of the skirt panels together. Okay, let's get on that. Now it's pocket making time. Folding this fabric over so that I have 4 layers of it and pinning it in place so that it doesn't move when I cut it. I'm placing my phone here since that's primarily what I'm going to be putting in these pockets. I'm also making sure that there's space to fit my whole hand in it above the phone. And now I'm just kind of sketching out the general shape I want the pocket to be. Now behold my first attempt in trying to install a pocket in between the skirt panels. You'll see later on why what I have done here was bad. So I think I actually really effed up with the pockets here. I'm not quite sure what I did, but I finally got it installed, but this is kind of what it looks like. I don't know if you can tell like how ratchet that helm looks. Hopefully you can't really tell. The opening is a bit smaller than I planned it to be. I planned it to be about the width of my hand, and I can get my hand in it. I just gotta have to like dig a little bit. But I'm gonna install a pocket on the other side, and hopefully I can install that properly this time. Like, what is this? What? I just want pockets. Why is this so hard? Okay, so I believe one of my biggest mistakes was in stitching the pockets beforehand altogether. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving this seam open here and I'm pinning right sides together. So this side with the right side of this cloth. So I'm going to pin them together like so, and then sew the pocket all together, and then sew the seam shut while leaving this space open. Okay. You can come make a cameo now if you want. Hello everyone! While editing this video, I realized that I did not film myself making a waistband, and since this is one of the first projects that I've ever made a proper waistband on, I felt like I should go in detailed steps to show you how I did it. So the first step, of course, is to measure your waist. I recommend making the waistband a little bit bigger than your waist is, both for breathing purposes, and if you eat a lot, I recommend maybe sticking your hand between the fabric and your waist and breathing and think, can I eat, you know, a full meal and still feel comfortable in what I'm wearing? Because beauty is great, but comfort is also highly, highly important. It's also important to make the waistband a little bit bigger in case you come into some problems with your project, because you can always make things smaller. It's a lot harder to make things bigger again. After you've measured your waistband, you then want to take your scissors and cut it out of the fabric. Today's example fabric, since of course I finished the project at this point already, I'm going to use this white cloth to demonstrate the waistband. So let's just say that I've cut it and it's the length of my waist. For width, you see I've made it about this wide, because you want to decide how wide exactly you want your waistband to be. Do you want it to be thin? Do you want it to be thick? And then double that. So for example, you see how wide this is. In actuality, when it's done, it's going to be this wide. So cut it lengthwise, the length of your waist, widthwise, double what you actually want it to be. So here again, I have this white fabric representing the waistband, and I have this black floral fabric representing the skirt that we would be hypothetically attaching to this waistband. So if this is a gathered skirt, you would have already gathered the top of it before doing this. If you're going to pleat the skirt, you would pleat it as you were doing this. I will try to demonstrate that a bit, even though I've never pleated a skirt before, but I think I should be able to do it well enough. So one of the biggest things in waistbands is making sure that the hems are folded in so that you don't have any raw edges anywhere. So while doing this, I would fold the bottom hem of this up, and for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to pin this in place. Waistbands require attaching a lot of pins to things. So I've got the bottom edge of this waistband folded in, and now I'm going to add in our skirt here. I'm just gonna add some pretend pleats there for a second. You can also pin these as you go. And then I'm just going to fold the top of this over. The waistband is now going over the top of the skirt. And again, I'm going to fold that edge in so that all raw edges are hidden here. And I'm going to pin this in place. So you're pinning the raw edges of the top of the skirt in between the folded down edges of the waistband. So if I hold it up like this, you can see that on both ends, no raw edges are shown. And so it really just requires one line of stitching to go down the bit of it that sews both sides of the waistband as well as the top of the skirt together. To see how this looks on a finished project, I just grab this. So this is a skirt I sewed around the same time that I sewed this pinafore. And as you can see, because I used white thread on this project, you can just see this one stitch running through the bottom edge of the waistband that if I open the skirt, you can then see on the inside as well. You see? There it is. And we've got the gathered edges of the skirt folded into the waistband. And that's how you attach a waistband. Let's get back to the hot mess that is this video. Having attached the skirt to the waistband and as well as the straps to the bib of the pinafore, I've just now quickly pinned the bib to the waistband just to see how everything fits and to make sure that the straps are long enough for when I do eventually attach them. Just a quick trying on before I sew everything in place. Now I'm measuring just to make certain that where I've pinned the bib is in the center of the waistband so that it's even on both sides. Now I'm just turning in the hem on both sides of the bib so that no raw edges are showing when I pin it to the base of the waistband, so that the line of thread that goes through the bottom of the bib is in line with the same thread that goes through the waistband. film this because I'm running out of daylight. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it educational. If you were hoping to learn something from this, if you were just watching it for entertainment purposes, hope it was entertaining. You all just saw the finished project, but here it is again. I don't think I ever showed y'all what the final pocket ended up looking like, the good version anyway, but here it is. Yeah, the very good Pinafore, functional, cute, love it. If you're interested in watching anything else on my channel, I mostly do song covers. I'm classically trained, but I'm also a huge fan of jazz. I'm actually currently in the works of making another Hadestown cover, which if you watched my Way Down Hadestown cover, that was a big passion project of mine. It was one of the things that got me through quarantine when quarantine in America first started, you know, a year ago. God, that's insane. Anyway, so I thought it would be a cool thing, kind of like it's been a year into the pandemic, let's do another Hadestown cover sort of a thing. Also, I just love Hadestown. So we're gonna do that. I'm also thinking about doing Word to the Wise, which was a song I forgot about, but then remembered upon listening to the soundtrack again. So hopefully that ends up looking cute. Okay, stay fabulous, y'all.